All right, Max Ralph.
Hey Mike, Happy New Year.
Same to you, Max. Thank you.
Is this Palestra game still something that you're hoping to do each year? And how much so far have you already felt the impact of rekindling Penn State's presence in Philly?
Yeah, well, we definitely want to do this every year if we could. It's great experience for our players. I'm really big on that. Like how if you come and play basketball at Penn State, um, I want you to get to a point after you when your career is over to say, man, I would do that again. And experience and opportunities to play at a storied arena like the Palestra in the city of Philadelphia, where college basketball is a big deal. I think that's great for our guys. It's great for what we're trying to build. It's great for our university, and it's great for all the alumni in the greater Philadelphia area that are fighting for tickets for the game. So, yeah, I just think this is what it's all about: creating great experiences for our student athletes and having a lot of fun doing it. And it's great competition. So, we hope we can do this all the time. And then anytime like I said, after we play Drexel, anytime we can play in the Philadelphia area, anytime we could, show off Penn State basketball in the Philadelphia area is great for us in recruiting. It's great for us for support. It's great for our alumni. There's so many people in that area that are Penn Staters and lifers for Penn State University. So that connection just continues to build everything we're trying to build here.
Daniel.
Hey Mike, how you doing?
All right, Daniel, how about you?
Doing well. Last year at the Palestra, you talked a lot about teaching your guys the history and making sure they understood it. I know that you'll have a lot of new guys this time, but with some returners, what do you want them to get out of this, doing this a second time?
Well, playing in great environments when they're sold out and it's packed. I mean, that's just fun, right? It's just it's you enjoy that, right? That's the dreams and the goals you have as a young kid to play in front of great crowds like that. So, that's a great opportunity for them to experience that. You know, I don't think the certain people get excited about the history of the game and being a part of it. The Palestra has been around for such a long time that so many great teams and great players, some of the best players that ever played basketball have played in this place on this court. And you get to, experience that as well. I think that's really cool. And, we'll talk about it because it's such a quicker turnaround, Daniel. We're not going to probably, I'm a history guy, so I won't do the history lesson like I did in the past, but we'll definitely talk about it. And so the guys are excited about it, but they are excited. They've heard about it. Ace and the guys that were here last year have talked about it, how cool it was last year. So, that stuff will carry over.
Max.
Mike, you've talked a fair bit about Zach's improvement this year. I know we've talked about how much Freddie is kind of coming into his own, but I think on a general sense, the depth your team has shown has been impressive. How important is that as you start to get into the Big Ten schedule, fully now?
Yeah, I think the depth part of it, I just think guys have really improved from last year and more comfortable with how we go about it and how we do things. Zach and Zach DeMarco, Freddie being here since June, his improvement. I hope a lot of it is, man, these guys really care about me. I trust them. I'm going to listen to them and still go play. That's really important to me, and I think that helps guys grow and improve quicker. I thought I think Zach is a great example of that. You guys can talk about Zach's offense all you want, and he's such a threat out there, and he's doing different things, and the other team has to prep for him in such a way, or he can kill you. But his basketball awareness and IQ and feel, and especially his defense, have improved so much that he's turned himself into a complete player. And that's what I'm most proud about for Zach. But you're exactly right. Like there's multiple guys helping us in so many different ways. Last night it was DeMarco's turn. One night it was Freddie's. The next night it's somebody else. I think Puff is playing with great confidence right now and doing so many different things to impact winning. And I also think there's guys coming off the bench that are helping us in different ways. And I do think I still need to keep going down that bench because guys will be ready to help us. So that's just how we do things. And I think the guys have taken a great liking to it and understanding of it that, man, they're going to call on me and I can impact winning tonight. I got to keep working and get better. And that's just sort of what we do.
Daniel.
One more question on the history front, Mike.
Sure.
Is that something that when you're recruiting a player that you want to that you look for in them, like a curiosity about the game and things that have come before? Like, does that stand out to you at all in when you're recruiting a guy?
Yes. So, there's, as I like to say, there's some identifiers in recruiting for me, for us, the love of the game, not just, going to the gym and playing, but the love of the game. Do you watch basketball a lot? Do you get on Synergy? Do you get on YouTube and watch your favorite players or your favorite games? Do you understand the history of the game? Do you know who Bill Russell is or whomever, right? Like if you're a point guard, do you know the best point guards in the history of the NBA? Like that stuff to me shows the depth of of what somebody thinks about the game and the love of the game. I think that's really important to me, and that's something in recruiting that when you have some of those conversations and deeper discussions, and you start talking about players or old college teams or something like that, and they have a curiosity about it, I like that. That shows a basketball character that not everybody has, and it's not a definite Daniel, but it's something that triggers me to say, man, this guy has a little bit deeper thought and history or knowledge of the game and wants to know more about it. That curiosity I really like.
Brennan.
Hey coach, how you doing?
All right, Brennan, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
Good.
I just staying on the topic of Sunday's game. You guys take on an Indiana team that's riding a 3-game winning streak and just beat a Rutgers team that you guys lost to earlier in the year, albeit without Dylan Harper. You kind of just talk about what you've seen from them and how like what the prep work has looked for Sunday's game.
Yeah, I mean they're very talented. They're deeper than they were last year. They brought in 5 new guys that have given them more ability, more talent, more size, more perimeter power. So they can come at you in waves. And last night they shot the heck out of the ball. So, there's finding ways to score in different ways and make plays in different ways. So, we definitely have our hands full. Another typical tough Big Ten game, but we're excited about it. I do think we have to have 2 great days of prepping for them because they are different than some other teams in the league, and making sure we defend at the rim and making sure we take them away from their threes and all that stuff. But they're also playing very good defense, so we got to make sure we really take care of the basketball, something we didn't do last night, or they could take great advantage of it.
Mason.
Coach, I hope you're having a great start to your new year.
Thanks, Mason. You as well.
Now, obviously, I want to know what it's like for you to kind of just focus on the process. Obviously, with the winning streak at home and starting the season so strong, a lot of coaches believe in making sure you just kind of take it the one day at a time, one game at a time. What is kind of your approach with your players to make sure you guys just kind of stay locked in on the moment and not worry about streaks or records or anything?
Yeah, I just don't talk about that stuff, Mason. I've always been like that. I love to be in the gym on the daily. So that's sort of where it really is. Like I don't mean to make it coaching cliche. It's just not who I am. And our staff takes that. And I think it trickles down to our players. It's like I don't look at the standings. I don't look at streaks. I just never been that way. I just want to be in the gym today and see what we can do today. I really talk to our players. I call it in the now. Be in the now. Be where your feet are. Be present. And if you just concentrate on being in the now right now and owning your moment, and you stack moments on top of moments of good training and good work and good concentration, I just think you keep improving. You're constantly improving. And then when we do have a setback or we do have a bad moment in practice or a bad day of practice, it's okay. It really is. And please understand this. I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but like failure is okay in our program. Like we're not we're not going to throw a shutout on defense. We're not going to make every play. We are going to lose a game. And those are the moments that we got to own it. If we're true to ourselves about improving, own it and learn from it. Does it piss us off? Yeah, darn right. We don't want to lose. We don't want bad results. But that's got to be fuel for us. So I'm just in the moment guy. It's probably why I'm late paying bills during the season and I'm late to take out the garbage because I'm locked in on what can we do right now to improve our program and our players and our staff. And the other part of it, Mason, is to me is like just be in the moment right now to serve each other, help each other. How can I help you get better at what you do? How can you help your team, our players? How can we make it easier for our guys to understand this? So that's sort of like where I'm locked in at. I just always been that way. I think part of it is because I just love to be in the gym every day with the guys. So today's not a game. Today is practice. Can we get better? Can we prep to get ready for the next opponent? So that's sort of just my habit, and it becomes our program's habit. The guys know that we don't talk about the standings or it's not up on the wall anywhere. Um, our habits, our core values, we talk about them more than our opponents. It's more about what we do and what we can control than anything. That was a long answer, but you got me fired up.
Michael.
Hey, Coach, Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year, you, Michael.
More specifically on Indiana, how are you planning to slow down their bigs and the size they have in the front court?
You got any solutions, buddy?
Not really.
Take them. So, well, you got to make it really hard for them. Like don't let them catch it where they want to catch it. Don't let them make easy cuts to the ball. You can't relax at all. And then when they do get it, make them make tough moves over you with great discipline and physicality without fouling them. Know that they're probably going to make some plays, move on to the next one, and like string a bunch of that together. We gotta help our guys at times. There's just different ways we can guard the post. I think before the ball gets into the post on these really good post players, is don't allow it to get there so easily. And I thought we did a decent job of that last night against Northwestern. Pressure in the backcourt, pressure up and around half court, pressure into their offenses, blow stuff up. But easier saying it than doing it because they're super talented. Good players are going to make plays at this level. You just got to make it so hard for them.
Max.
You weren't kidding, Mike, when you said you'd throw Miles to the Wolves when he was finally ready to go. I know part of that is because Kachi didn't go, but he played almost 10 minutes. How did he come out of it physically? How's he feeling? And what's your
Good.
review? You've had a chance
You know
to
what?
dive in.
I'm so proud of him because you're right. We threw him in the fire against a really good team, and he did great. And I don't know if he was +6 or +9 in the 10 minutes, but +6, Chelsea, +6. He just played to help his team in that moment of winning. And that's all I asked him to do. And he did a great job of it. I thought his energy, trying to go after rebounds, he was physical. He did great ball screen defense. Super proud of him. And he was emotionally spent after the game because he didn't want to let his teammates down. And that was like, that's what you want from young cats. That's what you want from freshmen. So super proud of him. And I told him after practice, now my challenge to you is what type of practices are we going to have today and tomorrow to get ready for Sunday? So let's keep raising the bar. But threw him in the fire. He didn't get burnt. He was on fire. I'm really proud of him.
We'll do last question to Daniel.
Mike, sticking with the bigs, what do you think Yannick can prove, or what do you want him to prove as you go into Big Ten play with, the front court he'll see at Indiana and some of the other bigs throughout the schedule?
Honestly, I don't want him to prove anything. Like, we're not in the comparison game. Just be the best version of yourself every day. Um, because he's just getting better all the time. He's understanding it. We're in Big Ten play now. The best big guys in the country are usually in the Big Ten or pretty close. You're one of them now, man. So just go and play. And what I loved about him yesterday was, I thought he played with great great aggressionist and intelligence. And, you know, some couple shots didn't fall for him. He didn't hang his head. He just kept playing. He was active on both ends of the court, but on defense, he did a great job around the rim and finding rebounds for us and a couple blocked shots. But I thought on offense, he played with great composure, and he's just going to keep getting better and better playing at this level against these really good players. And he's becoming one of those guys. And I loved his approach. I loved his approach during the game, and I loved his toughness. He twisted his ankle yesterday and just fought through it. And, you know, that means he's in the right place mentally. And he just continued to keep working to get better, and it will show up. It will show up with results on the court.
Great. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys. See you Sunday.
Zach and Puff will be on shortly.